Oh my God.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode Around the Fire. It's your boy Andrew here. Today we are going to talk about the AK Master Mount and the use cases. This here is something that a customer brought in. It's a old sporterized Egyptian Madi and a perfect example of a good use case for something like this here. What this is, in case you didn't know, in case you've never heard of it, a lot of AKs, more modern ones, and for some good long time now, have come with optic rail mounts on the side, a dovetail, and this gives you the ability to add a dovetail to your firearm by replacing your 2 pins with captive pins and a little bit of Loctite. So it's a simple system made by Master Mount, and I happen to have one laying around that I had on another firearm. This individual came in and asked what his options were, and I said basically, unless you were looking to convert this entire firearm, and do a dust cover type of thing, something like that, the options for you would probably be that, or they do have some like drill and screw type ones as well, or we could even have done a rivet type one as well. But in this case, I said, hey, I have this part, I'll sell it to you for $40 and I'll put it on for you. So he was down for that. So we're going to talk about that today and just kind of get into it, and you can tag along. So you'll have to just break the firearm down. No big deal. Hopefully you know how to do this. If you don't, just go watch a little YouTube. It's a pretty clean gun for an old gun, man. Most of my AKs aren't this nice. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, there's no way that safety ever got into this gun without being rotated around backwards. PARS International, Louisville, Kentucky. PARS International. That's whoever the importer was. Interesting 922R compliance work that was done on this. Interesting is the operative word here. So with this particular firearm, we're going to have to go backwards with it. Flip it around. Pull her over the rivets. Lift her up. And there she is. Because there was no way that guy was getting over that trigger group. Look at that thing. Squared off as can be there. That is just the finest of pot metal safeties. All right, here, keep her going. Don't know if I've ever mentioned that I really hate shepherd's hooks, but if I haven't, I really hate shepherd's hooks. This is an interesting one. There we go. I have not seen one like that before, but I didn't like it. Good thing we don't have to put that back in the gun, but we'll save all the parts for the guy either way. Okay, many times in life, we'll get ourselves into this position here, where we've gone and pulled up our springs off of our trigger mechanism, and you put them behind the head of the hammer there. This is going to be the easiest way to get tension off if you're having some issues like I was having there. This is also the notorious position for getting bit by these springs as they want to smack back down. And this particular firearm here has some real stiff ones. So normally what I would do in this sort of position here is I'd take a bit of tape and go around it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab myself some electrical tape. I've usually got some on hand because I'll use it, you know, like Ranger band stuff. Hold electrical wires down on guns and stuff. But just take some of that. Start out loose so you don't smack yourself. And then just pull it tight. Go around a couple times. It doesn't have to be pretty. You're just doing this to keep that out of your way. Now if you got a zip tie or a little piece of string, any of those things will work. But now hopefully we can just get that pin. Man, what is going on here? That thing's biting onto something. You know what I bet it is? I bet the last coil of that spring slid right down into that detent on there and is holding it in there. There we go. About damn time too. Alright, so retain your original components. These ones are pretty greasy, so they're holding themselves together just fine. That's interesting. This Madi, get my flashlight so hopefully you can see, has like a secondary spring in there holding the disconnector in there. It's interesting. I've never seen it before, and it's kind of got a scalpel shape. First time messing with one of these. Interesting. Interesting. Don't know if that's a factory part. Very interesting. Neat. Just neat. Neat how some of these things are different. Okay. And at this position, just take your package you got here all taped together now and give it a twist. Turn it sideways. Pop it right out. Toss that to the side. Keep track of all your parts. If you're doing this work for somebody, they might want them back. You know, that's all your original stuff there. Well, original, who knows, right? But either way, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little system here, and normally I would probably put this in my little Tippmann vise, but we're trying to film this for you guys so you can see it. Stand her up. If you got a little Tippmann stand type cleaning kit thing, you know, it's a cleaning stand, that'll help you out. Yeah, look at that. That thing was pushing out on both sides. I wonder that was giving me so much trouble. All right, so we're going to take our big guy here and we'll drop him in first. Okay. And then we'll take this guy, get it ready, and get a pin. And as you can see here, they were threaded with a little hex key, but there's also an indent, like a octagon shape there, that this will correspond into and give you a positive lockup. So that's going to be our front. We don't want to do that. We want our back. So we're starting there. So we just want to feed that through. And you might have to push down on everything to get it all aligned correctly. Jeez. It's an ugly temperamental setup there. Should talk this guy into a trigger upgrade too while I was at it. Alright, found our start point there. There we go. Now we're moving. And now we're bumping into that spring, aren't we? Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's gonna be. That's an interesting one there. Okay. All right. Now we're back in business. I'm just gonna get that in the right spot. Give her a little tappy tap. Now, like I was saying, you gotta have this hex lined up just right for it to seat. There we go. And that's what you want. Like I said, be delicate with it. Yeah, I got a little mini sledge here, but this is nice hardened steel. And just, use your wood end. Give it a little tap there. So now you got that seated. It's not going to rotate. This is stuck on the rivet that was underneath there because there's a hollow point underneath. So right now it's not going to go anywhere on you. Flip her all over. And sorry, the light's behind here, so you might not be seeing this well, so I got my little flashlight there. But now what we're going to do... Oh, we fell out. Nice. Of course I fucked it up now, right? There we go. You just want that little tip of it meets up in there. You're going to grab your screw there and just put her down and just go finger tight for now. No need to get crazy yet. Okay, well, I just got that snugged up. Now, I would normally put some Loctite on that. I don't have any right now. So I will let the gentleman know. But regardless, a little bit goes a long way. Don't overdo it. And now we're going to move on to our second one. And this is the fun one where you go and pinch yourself again. You can see our guy over here is getting all temperamental and wanting to fly away. But he can't because we taped him down. Just make sure he's still on there. And, make sure you know which side's the right side, right? Obviously, this side's not all scarred up. It's not smacking anything. This guy's got some marks on it. You can see the bolt's been traveling over it. So that's your face that wants to go forward. And then these guys will want to come back and sit down on top of the rest of the trigger pack. So go and put him in and give him a twist. And then you got them into position there. Go and grab your other bolt. And just find your start point. And gingerly work your way through. You'll probably have to grab it and wiggle it around a bit. Get everything all lined up right, because it is... Those springs are pushing out at you. And sometimes you gotta give her a little persuader tap. You too good for your home? There we go. There we go. Perfect. See? It just needed a little talking to. That's all, right? See, this is stuff, too, that people with AKs know, You would never watch or see a gunsmithing video and have any, level of respect for it on any other channel where a guy is hitting a gun with a sledgehammer. But in the world of AK-47 gunsmithing. I assure you, this is not uncommon. For better or for worse, right? But, all right. And we'll just tighten that guy down, and then we'll go back and snug everything up. Now, something to think about here that I have noticed with these, you just want to have them like tight enough to hold the system in place and then let the Loctite do the work from there. If you go particularly beyond that, I've noticed that it sort of seems that you could actually put so much torque on this depending upon the widths, because there's a lot of variation, that you're pinching your receiver a bit, and when you are doing that, you can unfortunately cause some slide issues, some things like that, and not to mention trigger binding. So you just want it tight enough, really. You don't have to overdo it by any stretch of the means. And then, of course, you know, once you reach this point here, you're just going to untape these venomous little bastards. And, of course, they're waiting for their revenge. Yoo-hoo. And I'll just grab my punch and make sure those are sitting where they're supposed to be. And you guys should know this stuff, but you want them sitting on those outside levers. This one here is in the wrong spot. So we're going to move them over. There we go. And just like that, that's how you want them, sitting on those outside legs. And we'll go put our safety back in. And like I said with this one, we probably won't be able to rotate it over. It just seemed like it wanted to run into everything before. Yep, there's no way that's... Yeah, that's crazy. So, yep, rotate it around backwards. Lift it. Use your strengths. Lift it over your rivets. And there you go. We're in there. And now we'll test it out for function. Make sure it's okay. Trigger seems to act like a trigger so far. God, that spring is so stiff. Wow. And then dink. Jesus, man, that thing's gonna punch primers right out the front of the barrel. The Egyptians were doing something. All right. Now we'll get our bolt carrier back in there. And our spring assembly. And our dust cover. All right. Let me clean up my mess a little bit here. And then there we are. So as you can see, you now have a rail that doesn't move. Now, it doesn't move on a proper AK. Now, the reason I took this off a different one is I must have had slightly oversized holes, and it would have a little bit of wiggle. This guy here, none. Really nice. So, good fitment there. You can see it sits nice and solid. Now, this is going to allow you to slide on any of your optic rails from any various different manufacturer of your choosing. But this is just one way you could do this, accomplish this on an older gun like this that you don't want to go and change too much, because this thing here has no threads. You'd have to thread it if you wanted to modernize it, and obviously, removing this probably has all the required bits underneath it to be normal. But regardless, this gentleman, I would too. I think this is pretty nice. I would keep it. It's laminate. I would keep it the way it is. And now he can run an optic, and he can also take that off and immediately have the gun back to original. No issues there. Very cool part. We don't carry them in the store anymore. I don't know if our distributors have them. It's something I'll look into for you guys. But we used to order these direct from Mastermount back in the day. Cool guy. They were never huge sellers, but we would get some in. Haven't had any for a while. Like I said, this was one I had laying around for this guy. So, but yeah, guys, just one option. We'll dive into that more going forward here. I've been experimenting with some other things. Recently just acquired a Texas dog leg rail for the first time. Don't know why I never tried that system before, but we'll have a video coming on that, and a few other things, Midwest industry stuff like that. There's a lot of this sort of stuff going on right now, so I'll try and bring as much I can to you as possible. Hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe. Thank you. English, finally. All right. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Toodaloo.
Oh my God.